Well, howdy, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are in the world. I just did a bunch of push-ups to get myself in the zone. So, yeah, feeling good, feeling good. See, we've got 10 or 11 folks on right now. That's awesome. Hello, Chakalala. Great name, great name. Happy winter solstice to you too. Wow, you had a 6.2 earthquake. Crazy. Well, for the few of y'all who don't know me, my name is Dr. Matt Dorsey. I am CHOQ's Chief Scientific Officer and herb geek and everything natural health guy, also known as the CHOQTOR, of course. And yeah, let's see what everybody's into. How was y'all's weekend? Are you guys preparing for Christmas? If you celebrate Christmas, what's going down? How's everybody doing? 6.2. Is that, how bad is that 6.2 on the Richter scale? I honestly don't live somewhere where they have earthquakes. I've been in Texas my whole life, so I kind of forget what the relative scale is there. Let's see. A little scary. Yeah, I've only actually experienced an earthquake once in my life. I was at my cousin's house. He lives in the Bay Area in what do you call it? The place across from San Francisco. Anyway, yeah, I was actually sleeping and it woke me up, but it was really minor, but still it was a very, very strange sensation having the whole earth shake. Very weird, very weird. By the way, I do have, before I forget, I have a cool announcement for you guys. Stay Human episode 2 is officially scheduled. So yeah. Let's just check that out really fast here. All right. Tell me in the comments, in the chat, if you're excited for Stay Human episode 2. By the way, here is a link right here. Voila. Also, I'm wondering if YouTube is being weird today because I'm not seeing a lot of chat right now. It seems like we've got 11 people, but very few people in the chat. So I'm wondering if some of it's just not coming through or what the deal is. But yeah, there's Stay Human episode 2. For those of y'all who were here for our special Unplugged Friday, that was not officially retained on the channel because we went fully uncensored on Friday. Talked about some verboten things. We talked about the V word a little bit and some other things that you're not supposed to talk about in YouTube land, but I went ahead and went for it and just didn't actually leave it permanently up on YouTube. But all this stuff does dovetail together. If you haven't seen the first Stay Human, then do yourself a favor and definitely check that out. Let me just for those of y'all who haven't watched Stay Human episode 1, let me go ahead and link to that real quick because that one was phenomenal, I must say. Looks like it's got about 1,500 views now, which is not too bad at all. So here's Stay Human episode 1 for those of y'all. Svetlana, it seems like you liked it. Glow 120, yeah, you were a fan of the Friday show. Yeah, Friday was pretty crazy. We got real crunk on Friday. That was fun. Verboten, yeah. Verboten, it's also in, it's a German word. And, there's certain, like nothing against Germany. Germans are awesome. But, right around the 1930s and 1940s, they weren't doing the best things. And some of the stuff that's happening right now with respect to all this weirdness certainly is reminiscent of late 30s, early 40s Germany. Yeah, it's getting real weird. Yeah, we did get hyphy, Chalk Gamer. We sure did. We got hyphy AF, as the kids say. My voice is still kind of hoarse for some reason. Overall, my sinus stuff, but for some reason, my voice is still a little hoarse. That could actually could work in my favor, especially if I was trying to do like an Alex Jones impersonation, like Infowars.com, PresentPlanet.tv, that could work out with the raspy voice there. I should take up chain smoking, and then I'll have even raspier voice. Be a great idea, right? But yeah, so anyway, yeah, so very excited. It's going to be January the 17th. which is a Friday. I'm sorry, is it the 17th or 21st? My bad. 1 second. Let me just double check. Exactly 30 days from today. So yes, it is going to be on January 21st. And today is December 21st, of course. It is the solstice. So 1 month exactly from today, Friday the 21st, 2 hours long from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Central. Just like last time, same basic idea. But if you were here on Friday, I elaborated a little bit on what's going on with the theme. The theme came to me randomly as a kind of I have a back scratcher that I like to twirl sometimes here. Came to me randomly as just an intuition, and I had to figure out why it's called Between Two Worlds later. And I decided it's because, well, with this Matrix, fourth Matrix movie coming out right now, it's becoming, that's just one more reminder of how much more deeply certain humans are plunging into the Matrix. We've got this whole thing with Meta, right? And the birth of the metaverse, which, by the way, metaverse, as you probably have heard me say, comes from a fairly dystopian book called Snow Crash, where the real world was so awful that people had to escape it into the metaverse, right? So it's this form of like escapism from a world that's not very friendly and virtually lawless, actually. And anyway, so we got this whole thing with the Matrix, the metaverse, and we see that, why Between Two Worlds? Well, we're in a transitional period right now, humans, right? Some of us are transitioning to a somewhat higher level of awareness. You could define that in very practical terms, such as awareness of various powers that be, control structures, control systems, right, that have been operating for a very long time in the shadows and are increasingly becoming more obvious to many of us. Or you could say increasing awareness with respect to, slightly more esoteric, metaphysical, spiritual type concepts, just, becoming more energy sensitive and just more awake on a spiritual level. And then there's another group of us, and I don't mean to, to denigrate these people, but the other group of people are folks who basically are, going more to sleep. They're going more and more hard in the paint with respect to being in the Matrix, right? And so we're all between two worlds, but we're just between different worlds. Some of us are going to, in a sense, a world of higher awareness, and some of us are going to a world of somewhat lower awareness. And there has been, have you guys noticed this sort of bifurcation, right? We've got some folks who are waking up more and more as a result of recent events, the pandemic and all that. And then some folks who are just going more and more and more to sleep, and they're just doubling down on their somnambulance, as I put it in the description of the video. And yeah, is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I don't know everyone's purpose here on planet Earth, right? I don't know other people's soul contracts or how the stuff works. Obviously, I would prefer for people not to go to sleep and go to the Matrix, but for whatever reason, that is happening. And it doesn't mean that these people are bad or dumb or we should say anything nasty about them. But it is just, that's just how it is, man, So yeah, that is the deal. But anywho, yeah, man, I don't know. It's a weird time to be alive, right? Really weird. So that being said, you guys got any questions for me? What would you like to know? Let's see if we got any good questions here in the chat. Andy says, I was just listening to another podcast. What were you listening to, Andy? I'm curious. By the way, I did do a podcast actually, and I can find a link to you guys for you guys real quick. Yeah, let me just find that link. If you guys want to hear a podcast I was on, we can definitely get you that link here. The guy's name is Glenn Binger, and he has this podcast called Betterism. And if y'all want to check it out, you can go right there and listen to me talk to him for quite a while. It was like an hour and something, pretty long podcast. So check that one out if you'd like to. All right, let's see. What's my favorite CHOQ product by far? Well, I have to say, still to this day, I still really love Apex Glutathione. This is just my favorite, straight up, hands down, because glutathione is such a versatile, insanely important thing, and because it has also some cognitive benefits in that one. But I also really, really, really like Action 2.0. is a favorite because it's actually really well balanced in terms of giving good mood support, energy support, but has a nice bit of circulatory and nitric oxide type support, something that is extremely important. And then I would say on top of that, I had to pick one. Number 3 for me would probably be Armor, actually. Armor is like kind of an underrated supplement. It's really awesome though, especially because quercetin, highly versatile. The quercetin we have in there, as you probably know, is a 20x absorption quercetin. So 500 milligrams is like taking 10,000, right? So it's like taking 10 giant pills of another brand. Yeah, so somebody's asking about Apex. You know, I was hoping it would be here by Christmas. It's running behind. So unfortunately, my current projection for Apex is going to be closer to February now. Yeah. Sometimes these things take longer than we would like them to. So it's unfortunate, but that is the deal. By the way, also let you guys know. So since Friday is Christmas Eve, we're not going to be doing a Friday show. I think I'm going to be doing probably a Thursday double prize day instead, where the Thursday will be kind of like the Friday. So that's most likely what we're going to be doing. So tomorrow will be a regular day, and then Thursday will be the double prize version. And I'll try to get that scheduled for you guys pretty soon so you can see exactly what time it is on there. Also, let's see here. What else is going on, everybody? What else? By the way, just so you know, if you guys go right here to my link tree, I've got various different videos and blogs that are kind of a curated selection of some of my favorite videos and blogs that you can follow on there. This one right here is one that I've talked about a few times called the Divisive Virus. This is a pretty cool blog too. That was just one where I was just trying to talk about, you know, there's this force that's trying to divide us, you know. A few weeks ago, I kept having this idea pop into my head that said something like, you know, many of us are aware that there's some kind of force that's trying to divide us. We might not agree on what that force actually is. Perhaps some of us think that force is an actual group of people. Perhaps some of us think that it's a psychic force. But whatever it is, it's very clear that someone or something is trying to divide us as much as possible as part of this sort of divide and conquer type strategy. And, you know, I guess let's just be aware of that and not play into that. You know what I mean? And it's hard not to, though, because there's so much to argue about. There's so much to be upset about. You know what I mean? And rightfully so, because stuff is real crazy. So JJ says, when do you think the deep stank? Andy, you call it the deep stank instead of the deep state. That's hilarious. So Seraphim and JJ are talking about Action 2.0. JJ says, when do you take Action 2.0? I like to take it a lot of the time first thing in the morning as part of my kind of stack just to get up and go. But if I am, let's say if I'm going to like go do something later in the day and I'm, you know, want a little bit of a boost, I'll take it then. I like to take, you know, sometimes higher doses. With Action 2.0, you can take up to 6 capsules per day, 3 capsules twice a day, something like that would be recommended. So that's a good way to do it. But yeah, I take it anytime I feel like I need a boost, you know? So if it's a little bit later in the day and I'm going to go out and do something, I'm going to go see a show or something like that, go see some live music or whatever, then that's a good time to do it for sure. But really, like, you can take action about 30 to 60 minutes before you start to get her done, so to speak. That's a good way to do it. Yes. Anyhow, someone's asking about the best vitamin to increase dreaming. Skylar, honestly, like, so for some people, melatonin actually does help. One of the weird side effects of taking too much melatonin, or if you're sensitive to melatonin, is too many dreams. But yeah, you might want to try taking a little bit of melatonin. Melatonin actually has a lot of other cool benefits, though. And melatonin does help the body produce glutathione. It also helps with the immune system. So yeah. Yeah, Svetlana says there's a spiritual war going on. I'd say that's probably fairly accurate. That's certainly one way to think of it. Yeah, it's a weird time to be alive, right? But it's an interesting time to be alive, at least, you know. At least there's never a dull moment in this part of the 21st century. definitely something that, the youngsters 10 years from now, kids who are, who are like being born right now, who are only around 10 years old, when things have hopefully settled down a little bit, it's going to be interesting when we tell them stories about what it was like during the pandemic. It'll be like our version of war stories, basically. But yeah, crazy, crazy time to be alive. But doesn't mean that you can't thrive during this craziness. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, Andy, if you're into the whole AI thing, definitely check out Stay Human. And for anybody who hasn't seen that first episode, watch that, and it'll give you a nice primer for episode 2. By the way, also, I am noticing there's some folks here, about 15 folks here. We don't have quite as many likes. If you do happen to be watching this and you're into what you're seeing, if you wouldn't mind just hitting the like button really fast, that always helps us quite a bit. Helps the channel to get all those likes. Again, sorry to be that guy, but that's how you play the game. So I do see those going up. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. That is always awesome and is helpful for our channel. Speaking of channels, by the way, though, I will be most likely next year doing more Instagram lives. I am not ready to start doing those yet, but we may be switching it up. We may be doing more Instagram, less YouTube. Doesn't mean we won't be doing any YouTube, but we will be switching it up a bit more next year. I might even do some Telegram unplugged. We'll see. I don't know. It'll be fun. It's going to be different next year, though. And by the way, I have another announcement for you guys. I'm actually going to start blogging again. I'm not going to be able to do a blog a week like I did before. I don't have enough time for that, but I'm going to shoot for doing a blog every 2 weeks. All my blogs, they might not be quite as super, super lengthy and thorough as they used to be, but I will be doing blogs on the reg. So be on the lookout for that. Yes. In fact, actually, pretty sure my first blog is going to have to do with the Matrix. Yeah, as maybe a primer for Stay Human episode 2. And man, I mean, what better timing, right? I'm so glad that there's another Matrix movie coming out. I hope it's good. Based on the trailer, I wasn't sure if it was going to be good or not, but either way, now is the perfect time for a Matrix movie to be coming out. So yes, by the way, I do think also it is probably time to give away our first prize. So I have started the timer now. You guys have 1 minute to get your numbers in. And if you are one of those rare first timers, just give me in the chat 1 2-digit number right now, 1 entry only, and we'll see who is closest to the randomly generated number and who will win one of any CHOQ products. So make sure to get that in as soon as you possibly can, so that your answer counts. Because otherwise, you will be disqualified if it's not in the next 27 seconds. All right. Who is feeling lucky? You got 15 seconds left. Who is feeling lucky? All right. And that is time. Okay. So the number was 87. And it does look like, let's see, Sean is 82. What else we got? 85, CHOQ Gamer. Ooh, I believe CHOQ Gamer, you might be the winner. Let me just double check, though. Let's see here. Looks like Andrew Mack guessed the right answer, but too late, and unfortunately was not qualified. So sorry about that, Andrew Mack, but it did come in after the done on there. So that means that the closest person is, in fact, CHOQ Gamer. CHOQ Gamer, you are the official winner of prize number 1. So congratulations, CHOQ Gamer. 87 was the number. Yeah. All right. Awesome. So CHOQ Gamer, I don't know if you know the exact rules, but you probably do. You've been here before, but yes. Email CHOQ@CHOQ.com. Tell them that you would like your one of ever what CHOQ product right there. So, and you know what? I'm going to actually inform our customer service team right now before I forget and let them know what the deal is. Okay. Winners number Number 1, CHOQ Gamer. Okay, very cool. All right. And yeah, and just remember, guys, you do get only one answer. One answer per person is yeah. So anything after your first answer does not count. Yeah. All right. Let's see if you've got any other questions for me. Continue to fire away, please. Somebody says CHOQ hoodies and sweatpants. That's an awesome idea. I also want to make a special CHOQTOR shirt that I designed myself that says "Stay Human" on it. Or the CHOQ logo here. It says "Stay Human" on the back, something like that. I think that would be really cool. So be on the lookout for special CHOQTOR Stay Human shirts. Yes. In fact, you know what? I should just yeah, we should have a special website and everything. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna come back to that. Special CHOQTOR website. Let's see here. The deep stank is so hilarious, man. Deep stank. Deep. What about this? If you were a DJ, you could be DJ Deep Stank. What do you think? Is that a good DJ name? That is such a hilarious little piece of terminology there. I'm really glad, Andy, that you introduced me to that. So welcome, welcome. Thank you for your ridiculous term. That's super funny. I went ahead and saved that so I don't forget deep stink. By the way, guys, one thing I always like to try to remind people of, don't forget to laugh. The weirder stuff gets, and the more depressing stuff gets, and the scarier stuff gets, and the more Orwellian it gets, the more we need to laugh. Obviously, it's not that this stuff isn't serious, because it is serious as a heart attack. What we're watching is totally nuts, but make sure to laugh. Don't forget to laugh. You have to keep your sense of humor. People who are in dire situations, like soldiers, people who are stranded, when you're in an SHTF type scenario, for example, number one rule is always keep your sense of humor. Very, very important. So no matter what, always keep your sense of humor. That's why I try to post funny memes on Instagram, mixed in with all the serious stuff. And the way that I see it, I think that comedy is healing. And what I do for a living is I help people with their health. I help people heal, right, as a practitioner. And so spreading comedy and good cheer is healing. So that's within my scope of practice, is to make people laugh, really. And I think that, a lot of doctor type folks, we tend to take ourselves too seriously, right? And it's good just to be lighthearted and to keep it real in that way, because the stuff is dark, man. The stuff that's going on is dark. It's messed up. We got to keep our sense of humor. Super important. That's part of how you fight the good fight, All right. Somebody's asking, is it safe to take Irish moss if you are nursing? So unfortunately, with respect to pregnancy and nursing, the only answer I am legally ever allowed to give under any circumstances is to ask your doctor. So I cannot say that it is safe. You have to ask your doctor. And that's just a straight up legal thing. Doesn't matter, what the product is. That's the only response I'm allowed to give, Chakalala. So that's the deal with that. Let's see here. All right. But yeah, the CHOQ hoodies is a great idea. Yeah. All right. Wearing my long sleeve CHOQ shirt right now. Very cool. Yeah, I never got a long sleeve shirt because I'm in Texas, so I don't think I got a long sleeve. But now that it's cooling off, I should probably get one. Yeah. Also, I'm curious for you guys, if we do a long show on Thursday, do you guys think you're going to be up for that? Or is it just because it's even that's too close to Christmas? I'm wondering, maybe we should do our long double prize day tomorrow. So I'm going to think on that. I'm going to think about it and get back to you guys. Yeah. We might just do maybe just 2 shows this week, because it is Christmas and everybody's super busy. So we'll see. I'll let y'all know, though. I will schedule it pretty soon here. So we might just do that, though, just to keep it a little bit simpler. You can make sweatpants just for us, special design. We could sell them in 80 years for millions. Nice. Yeah, make sure to keep some extra CHOQ sweatpants in case they become a collector's item later on. But yeah, I think the Stay Human shirts would be super awesome. So I'm stoked about that. Hunter says, looking forward to seeing the CHOQTOR on other platforms. Yes, I will be on other platforms. Absolutely. Does CHOQ sponsor people with merch subs? So we have affiliates, if that's what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean, but yes, we have affiliates. Absolutely. All right. Andy says that the deep stank hates it when we laugh or send out love. Of course, it said DS. I put deep stank in there because I think that's the funniest term I've heard in a long time. Oh, really? JJ, you saw somebody in your gym with a CHOQ shirt. That's awesome. Well, make sure to give that person a high five next time and let them know that you're part of CHOQ Nation. That's awesome. Hunter says Wednesday's long episode will work better for me. So let me do a survey really fast. So everybody tell me right now in the chat, would you prefer to have the long double prize day tomorrow or Thursday? Which do you prefer? If we do it tomorrow, we probably just won't have a show on Thursday and we'll just do the big one tomorrow. So everybody vote and we'll see what everybody says. So yeah. So maybe, I hear another tomorrow, but yeah, let me know in the chat. Would you want tomorrow or Thursday? What would you prefer? Obviously tomorrow is sooner. So it's also like, oh, we got some Thursdays there. Okay. So yeah, everybody cast your vote there. Cast your vote. Yeah. Let's see what's going on the old CHOQ Instagram. Let's see if we got any good CHOQ Instagram stuff going on right here. What do we got? And you guys know that our old Get CHOQ account is back. So we have our old Get CHOQ, and then we also have CHOQ Nation. Yeah. This is a pretty good one. I like this one right here. This is a good Instagram post. There are too many people counting calories and not enough people counting chemicals. It's true. It's sad, but it's true. Yeah, that is the deal, man. Oh, I like this one too. New fad diet. Stop eating engine lubricant. It's a good one. It's a good one. All right. So let's see. All right. Let me see if I can count these up. So, all right. Okay. So what do we got here? So I've got, so for Wednesday, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for Thursday, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wow. So it's about a tie. About a tie. So, yeah. Well, I got a couple more Thursdays. Yeah, it's getting pretty close. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Andrew Mack says, explain dietary supplements as a term. Well, dietary supplements really is anything that you okay, within the United States anyway, the definition of dietary supplements includes things like amino acids, vitamins, minerals, herbs, mushrooms, right? Any kind of like plant, basically. And if it's some things could be it's a blurry line between food and dietary supplement, but oftentimes dietary supplements will be more concentrated. They tend to be extracts, not all the time though. Dietary supplements also tend to be things that you wouldn't usually eat as food. But there are things that blur the lines, absolutely. But yeah, that's best I could do on that, basically. Mohammed, so you're asking about our powder. We do have a powder that's coming out that's going to be basically a cacao powder plus a few other ingredients. It's not going to have a lot of greens in it, but it will have some other superfoods in it. Yeah, and some herbs and things like that. A couple like herbs and spices. Not going to be super crazy on the greens or anything like that, though. How do we gauge how many we can have at a time? Because I'm eating like a cereal of CHOQ subs. Andrew, unfortunately, there is no real way to answer that. Everybody is different. One person might need 15 supplements to have optimal health because they have certain things going on. Another person might need a lot less. So unfortunately, there is no easy answer to that. I wish I could give you an easy answer, but there is no way. One way you can do it is by finding a really good natural health practitioner to consult with, but other than that, just use your intuition, use your best judgment. There is no actual number, like no one should take more than this number of supplements. It doesn't work that way. Also, some supplements are very, very weak. Some supplements are very, very strong. So it really depends, right? One supplement could have like 9 different ingredients in it, whereas another one is just 1. So number of supplements, unfortunately, is a kind of just it doesn't give you enough data to really go off of. So I'm getting this question for the second time. Does CHOQ sponsor people with merch subs? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. OYCSY. Are you referring to, do we have like an affiliate program for people to sell CHOQ? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Let's see. No, and CHOQ is not making a meal replacement. We might in the future, but we are not. No. Prepping the cacao beans. So do you mean, like, Abigail, or is your question like, what do you do with the CHOQ cacao beans to eat them, or what's your question there? You might want to yeah. Okay, let's see. It's safe to say that CHOQ products can help to restore the endocrine system. CHOQ products do support endocrine system health. Yes, I'll put it that way. Restore might not be the right term. I wouldn't necessarily use that term. Also have to be careful about making, there's the whole legal thing, making certain claims, things like that. But what I would say is that many CHOQ products, especially products like Shilajit, ashwagandha, of course, Daily for Men, and Tomcat, many of these products do absolutely support endocrine health. By the way, endocrine, for the few of y'all who might not know, or however many, endocrine is just a fancy way of saying, hormones, basically, right? And not just, when we say hormones, though, we don't just mean sex hormones, right? There are other hormones that have other effects. There's also stress hormones. There's hormones that can, regulate all sorts of other processes in the body, not just reproductive hormones, but that is a big part of it. Yeah. Abigail, yes, you absolutely can. You can grind the cacao beans and you can make them into a coffee. Absolutely. If you do that, here's the recipe for how to do it. So you want to take a couple tablespoons, like 2 or 3 tablespoons, I think, per cup, something like that. Well, sorry, that's going to be after it's ground, right? But so you want to ground up some beans. You want to do it very coarsely. So use a coarse grind, right? So don't grind it for too long if it's in a coffee grinder. A little bit, more coarse. Then you want to do the temperature of your water should be around 170 degrees. Shouldn't be boiling. That's a bit too much. So 165, 170 is pretty good. You want to steep it for no more than 5 minutes, like a French press, ideally. And then press it out, and then you're good to go. Yeah. But yeah, after it's ground, you should be using around a couple tablespoons per 8-ounce serving, 2 to 3 tablespoons, maybe like that. And of course, you can mix it. You can do a little bit of coffee in there, a little bit of cacao. You can do it together. JJ saying cardamom. Oh, cardamom's awesome. Yeah. Cardamom we actually use in Chinese herbology to support healthy digestion. Cardamom's a great herb, though. Great for the immune system, great for digestion. Really awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, yeah, you can. So I've got another Chocolate saying you can blend them in a Vitamix with oat milk or nut milk and dates and honey. Yeah, that's delicious too. Absolutely. And you guys know, for those of y'all who have one of these high potency blenders, I like the Blendtec personally, but it has to be either a Blendtec or a Vitamix. You can blend stuff for long enough where the friction in there, because that blade is spinning so fast with such force, the friction will actually heat the stuff up in there. So that's another good way to do it. Yeah. So you don't actually have to, of course you can heat it afterwards if you want it nice and hot, but because the blender is not going to make it boiling hot, but it will make it fairly warm if you blend it for long enough. And there are settings on the blender, especially on the Blendtec. There's a soup mode, right, where it's going to do it for long enough to actually warm it up. But yeah, that's a good way to do it. Of course, you can always just pour warm water or warm nut milk in there too. I also really like to do, here's a recipe I've done. And if you want it nice and thick, don't use as much water, but you use bunch of cacao beans, as much as you want. I like to use more, but bunch of cacao beans, the smallest amount of water that works to make it nice and thick, hemp seeds, dates, and some kind of herbs and spices, whether it's ginger or vanilla, whatever you like. You could even throw, for a Mexican flair, you could throw a little bit of cayenne pepper in there. But yeah, that's the main ingredients are going to be the dates, cacao beans, and the honey. And the dates, hemp seeds, cacao beans, honey. Those are the main things. Just that and water, and then spices if you like. That is absolutely delicious. Cacao and date is a great combination. And of course, you don't have to use the honey either. But the combination of getting some of the sweet from dates, some from honey is really nice. It's delicious. All right. Do you think you can make cacao milk? I don't know about cacao milk. I've never looked that up. That's an interesting question, though, Danny. So check it. Danny, take a look and see if you can find any recipes for cacao milk, and let me know on the next episode. I am curious. Yeah, Andy, NutriBullets are not very good, to be honest. There's a lot of kind of like cheaper blenders out there that are trying to be the nice ones, but I have never found anything. Like I had to use a Ninja temporarily when I set my BlendTech in for getting so it can get repaired. And the Ninja is not even remotely in the same league as the BlendTech. They're not even close. No matter what I did with the Ninja and how long I blended it, it was total garbage compared to the BlendTech. So once you get used to one of these 3 horsepower, super powerful blenders, there's just no going back. It's just, everything is just so coarse by comparison. But when you use one of these high-powered ones, you get a really, really nice, really smooth beverage. So totally different situation. But yeah, I like the BlendTech over the Vitamix because they're more automated. They have buttons where you just press a button and it does the whole smoothie cycle, which is nice. That way you don't have to manually adjust it so much. And then the BlendTech also, especially for like maybe you have like a grandma or grandpa, the BlendTech's great because the BlendTech actually uses a dull blade because this blade moves so quickly that it doesn't even have to be sharp. That's how fast this thing is moving. It's more just based on speed. And it does have a shape to it that does cut through things, but the blade is totally dull. So when you're cleaning it, you don't have to worry about cutting yourself. Whereas like the Ninja has all these blades that are all sharp. I cut myself on the Ninja, within a week of having it. The BlendTech also is a bit too sharp. I mean, sorry, the Vitamix is also a bit too sharp. So the BlendTech, it just pulverizes stuff without even needing to be sharp, which is awesome. So yeah, BlendTech all the way, man. I don't think there's any other blender on the planet that's as good as the BlendTech. Somebody's asking about grapefruit seed extract. Yeah, grapefruit seed extract used for immune system, basically. There's other things I could say about it that are not entirely compliant in terms of what it does more specifically, but we'll just say grapefruit seed extract is good for immune system. BlendTech uses rounded blade, just pummels. Basically, yes, it is a pummeling blender. That is correct. But yeah, if any of you guys are trying to save money, the BlendTech that I bought is a refurbished one, and I got it for like not even 200. It might have been like it was around. Let's call it maybe 200. Not too bad because a lot of the newer ones are like 300 or 400. I mean, I've used it, probably a couple thousand times, and still going. I mean, I had to have it repaired in the middle, but it was under warranty. So, yeah. Somebody's asking about Paul Saladino. Is he he's the carnivore guy, right? Let me see here. Paul Saladino. Oh yeah, he's one of those carnivore people. Okay, so somebody asked me just now, what are your thoughts on Paul Saladino? Danny asked me that, and I have to say, Danny, I'll be totally frank. I'm not a big fan of carnivore, right? And for any of you guys who perhaps saw my dark side of keto video, you know that I think that any diet that doesn't have naturally occurring like whole food carbohydrates in it is a crappy diet. That being said, there are reasons that people do carnivore, and there are benefits you can get from it. I believe personally that one of the largest benefits of carnivore is the fact that it's actually an elimination diet where you're getting rid of gluten and dairy and eggs and canola oil and all sorts of other inflammatory things. Therefore, you're getting some benefits from it. But I believe that's most likely most of the benefits you're getting. That and the fact that meat has a steroidal anti-inflammatory effect and so can make you feel better, but is not actually healing you. It's actually harming you in the long run to have excessive amounts of meat. Of course, I am saying this as a non-vegan, but I do believe people should eat a lot less meat. And any diet where you're eating meat all day long and you're not getting plants is an absolutely horrific diet that I could never endorse personally. I think it also speaks volumes about how absolutely insane the world is right now, that there's a popular diet that literally consists of all meat and no plants whatsoever, that is just honestly one of the most insane things I've ever heard in my life. So yes, I do have strong opinions. I would recommend staying far, far away from carnivore type thinking. But everybody's different, and if you're one of those people who likes to experiment on yourself and try different stuff, because I know I've tried all sorts of stuff and I totally get it, maybe 10 years ago when I was in a more experimental phase, maybe I would have tried carnivore. Who knows, right? But yeah, no, carbohydrates are absolutely essential. They're really, really important. The healthy ones, the fruits and the vegetables, starchy vegetables. And you do not want to ever eat a diet that doesn't let you eat fruit. Fruit is one of the most important medicines you can put in your body. So yeah. So yes. But if you want to know more about why low carbohydrate diets are so toxic, and the potential downsides, then I will go ahead and link to the dark side of keto right here, which I did that one a couple weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and definitely something to check out. Definitely. So check that one out. And there's a lot of science in there. I had a stack of about this many, like 30 something studies that I went through. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Do any CHOQ products help with weight loss? Chewy. As far as research goes, there is a little bit of research on Tomcat. There were 1 or 2 studies where they did show that it was helpful a little bit for healthy weight levels. Other than that, we don't have a lot of studies on any of the trademarked ingredients in our products that show weight loss. So the Tomcat's the only one I can say for sure. The ashwagandha might have one, but don't quote me on that. But what I will say is that when you're thanks, Hunter, glad you liked that one. But yeah, when you are operating where you are not running on as many stress hormones, you are more likely to make good food decisions. And so if you're the kind of person who tends toward stress eating, then if you take some of these adaptogens that do help with healthy cortisol levels, like your ashwagandha, your Tomcat, like, men's daily, stuff like that, then you're going to be less likely to make bad decisions in terms of what kind of food you're putting in your body. So for stress eating can be really helpful. Absolutely. But yeah, also, in terms of metabolism, one could argue that if you're optimizing your mitochondrial energy production, and doing stuff like Action 2.0, for example, which is a mitochondrial nutrient, and also Apex glutathione, that can also support mitochondrial energy production, and that sometimes can have positive effects on metabolism overall and appetite, etc. So that's a possibility. Yeah. All right, I think it is time, by the way, for giving away prize number 2. So I have started the countdown. You now have 56 seconds to get your 1 entry in only of your 2-digit number. And so everybody get that in real quick, and then we will finish up here. And yeah, just make sure it's only 1 entry, everybody, if you can. And I'm wondering who here is going to go see The Matrix when it comes out? Anybody? I think I'm going to see it. Part of me is thinking that maybe it's not going to be as good, though. I don't know. Did you guys see the trailer for The Matrix? My life is The Matrix. Great answer, Chalk Gamer. That's hilarious. Okay. And the number was 27. Chewy, you got the number directly on the head there. Good job, Chewy. Oh, wait, Taiba. Whoa, 2 of you guys got it. That's crazy. Okay, so Taiba and Chewy, you guys both guessed the number 27. Therefore, Taiba and Chewy, you guys need to do a showdown, sudden death. And so just you two guys, Taiba and Chewy, you guys both guess one more number, and we're going to generate one more number here to see who wins prize number 2. So Taiba and Chewy, get the number in as soon as you can, please, so that we can get her done here and finish up. All right, and I'm going to start counting down. So you guys have 10 seconds to get your second answer in. And if you don't, then you will be disqualified. Sorry to be a bummer like that. Yes, Taiba, are you here? Are you listening? Would you like to win? Would you like to participate in the sudden death here with Chewy? Taiba, your time is running out. All right, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds. Oh, there we go. Okay, great. 64. Excellent. All right. The number was 75. So, Taiba, you are the winner. So, congratulations, Taiba. You are the official winner of prize number 2. And again, prize number 2 is Miss Tayyiba. Prize number 2 is, of course, it is a bag of CHOQ cacao beans as well as a CHOQ t-shirt. So figure out what kind of shirt you like. Thank you, Chocolala. Appreciate your comment there. Yeah, email CHOQ@CHOQ.com and they will get you taken care of. And yeah, you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and do a double prize day probably tomorrow. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I'm going to schedule it tonight. So sometime in the morning tomorrow or late tonight, check out our channel and it'll be scheduled there. So I believe it is about time for me to head on out. You guys were great as usual. I will see y'all tomorrow afternoon / evening / morning, depending on what time it is for you and whatever part of the world you're in. Thanks for being here. I'll see y'all soon. Much love, and don't forget to stay human.